right, Mr. Miyagi style. Guys, I'm going to do a really quick one here because of two reasons. One, I got a couple of people on the channel saying that, hey man, you talk too much. Get to the point, blah, 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 blah. You know, my whole channel is about ranting, right? Even my name has rant in it. Anyways, so for the people who are yapping about me talking too long or ranting and getting to the point, I'm going to do this a quick one. Second reason is because this accessory's been kind of done over and over again. There's lots of details and tips and tricks on how to use this particular accessory. If you want to get into more in-depth use and specs and that kind of thing, check out those sites or those videos. There's a wealth of information out there about this particular accessory. This is really for my guys, my subscribers, and people who kind of stumble onto this, and I'm going to make this really quick. It is the Insta360 GO 3S Quick Reader. This guy right here. I've got a lot of accessories. Oh, by the way, thanks Insta360 for sending me this to test and sharing my thoughts on this with you guys. And see if it's useful or for you, and if you can use it, and if you can, great. If you can't, don't buy it. Personally, I have to admit, I've got a lot of accessories for my cameras, whether it's a GoPro or DJI or the Insta360 Ace Pros. This is probably by far one of my favorite accessories, and I'm just going to go through it very quickly why this is my favorite accessory. Been kind of having fun with this Go camera. I find it a little bit more versatile and more portable when I'm out, walking around the resort, at the beach, that kind of stuff. This is my go-to camera now. For more serious stuff that I'm shooting, like underwater, scuba, I'm using the Ace Pro. But anyways, I'll get to the meat of this video. I won't rant on as much. What is this? It's a quick reader. So think of this as a USB key, basically a charger, and specifically for the Go 3, Go 3S. So it'll work with both of the versions, even the Go 3. For it to work with the Go 3, you do need to download the latest firmware for the Go 3 camera. Okay, the Go 3S works right off the bat with this. The top of the quick reader has the magnetic mount and the connector on it. And if you flip it over, there's a little button. I couldn't figure out what this button was, and I actually read the instructions. Oh, I read the instructions. Oh my goodness. This guy right here. Oh, instructions. I thought it was a sync button, but it's not. What is basically this button is, because there's a little sliding plug at the back. So it slides forward for the Apple Lightning plug, and there's a USB-C as well on the other side. So I'm an Android user, so I'd be using the USB-C. Kind of cool that they have both to accommodate both devices. Because I think some of the new iPhones are using USB-C now anyway. So, and it slides back and forth, and I was wondering what this button was for, and I noticed that when I plug this thing in, I'll show you right quickly off the bat. When I plug this thing in, there's so much pressure when you push it in. It's a little snug, right? So what happens? Nothing is working. It's not. It's like really flimsy. But what happened is when you push it in, it actually pushes this back in. And it's kind of like I actually had to hold it here and make sure it doesn't push back when I plug it into the device. But then I read the instructions. That's what this button's for. So you have to keep your hand there. This is the locking mechanism. It's a button that, so if I push this, it goes back and forth, right? Slide it back and forth. If I press this button, it locks it. So when I push it in, make sure that you press the side. But I didn't know this until I read the instructions. There you go. So it pays off to read the manual once in a while. So when I push it in, I just press that button, and then it's a good fit. Now it's in there tight. It's not wiggling around. There. Tip number one. What I really like about this is it's really cool. Like I said, just think of this as a USB key in terms of downloading. When I'm out doing recording with the camera, just the camera by itself, I usually walk away and leave this in the hotel or at home, whatever, and I'll take this with me. The nice thing about this is that it works in conjunction with your phone. Okay, so it basically works the same idea. Let's say I'm out there and I'm shooting. I've got 20, 30 videos on here. Okay, and I've got the 128 gig version, Go 3S, and I'm in my car and I don't have my pod. and I want to be able to get some footage down into my phone, or I'm running out of space on here and I need to get that footage down into a storage. So this, not only is this a USB key, like when you plug it in and actually access, there's actually a little micro SD card slot on there that you can put. I've got a 128 and you can put 256. I'm not sure what the maximum is on this. Oh no, it is. See, read the instructions again. So the maximum supported storage space is 1 terabyte. So this is a 1 terabyte drive as well. And why is this useful? Because you don't need this to move your data from this camera or store your data from this camera. You just need this piece, and you do of course need either a phone, okay, or a power source. So the caveat to this quick connector is that it does require external power. So what that means is, for me to transport the video onto here, onto this piece, I need an external power source. Okay, you can. This is a pretty big one. You can actually use a little portable one. You can buy little tiny ones, and they're dirt cheap. It just needs to supply power into this for it to actually work. Okay, not a big deal. I've got tons of power banks around. Initially, what I want to do is, let's say if I want to bring my videos on here, I'm just going to record a quick session. So I'm just going to record off this camera. So once I record off here, I'm just going to do a quick recording. So I've got a file on there, a video file that I've just recorded. Okay. And for me to do this, let's say if I want to just take that video, let's say my camera's full, and I need to bring that video and store the video from here to here. Okay, and how I do this is a very quick way of doing it. So you need to plug this in, okay, and into a power source like so. Okay. Now, the trick is, you need to turn this on, not record. So to turn the 303S on, you have to press it and keep that button down until that blinks blue. Okay, that means you're not recording. That means this camera is just on. And when you do that, you just push it in here. Once you connect it and you know it's connected and there's power, it turns green light. And to simply transfer the video that I just recorded from here to the memory that I've got in here, I've got 128 gig. I just have to press the button once, and you'll see it blink. As it's blinking green, that means it's transferring the file. And when it's done, it'll beep and it'll go to solid. That means the video that I just recorded on the camera memory just got transferred onto this quick reader's micro SD card that I've got in here. So now you've got a copy of that, a backup of that onto this key. There's several things you can do. I'm gonna pop this out. So once I've got this on here, what am I gonna do with it? You can either just keep it in here and just keep recording, okay? Or what you can do is you can take this and you can put it on your phone. I'm not a big fan. Like, I know you can just use the Insta360, copy the files on here, but the files are big, especially when you have the X4 or the Ace Pro. The files are quite large. Like, I've got a file on my X4 that's like 10 gig, and to transfer 10 gig over the air to your phone, you might as well just go for lunch, take a shower, have a nap, come back, and it'll still be transferring. This is a much nicer option. I can actually just take this, right, and as a USB key, I can plug it into my phone, and once I plug it in, it's going to open it up, and this is the file I just recorded. Kind of neat, because the reason why you would want to do this is because I can now download the file from here onto here much faster than doing this over the air. So that's the advantage of having this. It's a one extra step to bring this onto here, but it's a lesser time to copy it from the camera to the phone using the Bluetooth. The other thing that's really cool is that, let me just disengage this. Pop it out. The other thing too, I forgot to mention, this also acts as a charger. So if you don't have your pod around, you can use this to charge with a power bank. For me to let me just turn this off. All I have to do is just plug it in like I did before. my power bank will turn on saying that's plugged in. All I do is plug it in and it will actually charge this unit. Okay. This acts as a charger, a storage, a USB key that goes from here to your laptop or your tablet or your phone, that kind of thing. It's actually really useful with this particular quick reader. I have the quick reader for the Ace Pro. It's not as versatile as this, and I'll get to that in a second. What I want to see, the one thing I don't like about this this quick reader. So I'm just gonna pop this out. Yeah, it does need a power source, like a power bank. You can get these cheap. This is a really big one. It's like a 30,000 milliamp. You can get the tiny one. I have a little one I bought from a dollar store. And you carry that around. That'll work with this as well. The other thing is you can actually just plug this in. When you plug this thing in, you're going to be presented with a screen like this. I'll flip this video around. You'll see this little menu screen right here. Okay. It says a Go 3S. You can bring it down to the SD card if you want to. If I don't have a power bank around, I want to move this into here. I can do it with the pod. I'm using the backup memory in the quick reader, which is kind of cool. The reason for this is just basically an interface, a menu interface that allows you to connect this to this. Okay, has nothing to do with this. So if I want to transfer one file to the quick reader, it tells me how much more room I have on the SD card that I put in the quick reader, and how much I'm copying over. I do is hit the one button, automatically transfer this file onto here. Okay, got it. There, that's it. You'll see a little kind of a paintbrush icon. This allows me to do a very simple file management on either the camera or the quick reader. So let's say if I've downloaded all the files from the quick reader onto my laptop or my phone, I can use this to delete and just or format the memory that's in the quick reader. And I can also delete all the files from the camera. So I'll just slide it, and now it's cleaning my camera up with fresh memory, and then I can go back and start recording again. So it's formatted and it's got zero use. And I can do the same with the quick reader via this. The reason why this pod is used with the quick reader, it basically acts as a file manager for the quick reader and the camera. It doesn't copy the files from here to here because there's no need to. You can do it from the camera's plugged in anyways. The memory is in the camera, it's not in the pod. That said, I'm going to unplug this. And I'll pull this out. Pretty quick. That's all really what this does. It's really neat that you can do all these things with this little thing. This is a great idea. There's only two things I don't like about this. Okay, and one is not really a don't like, it's more of a want. The first thing I noticed with this is it's built nice. The only thing I'm not really a big fan of this is this piece right here. Okay, when you plug this into the pod or a phone, it's quite, even on the power bank, it's quite flimsy. You know, a slight hit or knock against something, that's gonna snap right off, or this whole thing is gonna break right off. Okay, so that's one thing I don't like about this. And that's the same with plugging in the pod. And then don't forget that you have the weight of this on here. I know this is not very heavy, but when you put it on here, you see it's kind of bent a little bit. So that's one thing. And if you just hit this on something, or you know, if you're downloading and you move and you knock this, I think that's gonna snap right off. So that's one thing I don't like about this. I know it's portable. I know if it slides in, that's kind of cool, but I don't think that's super strong. And I think that will probably, if anybody's been using this since this has been launched, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's broken that right off or snapped it right off. So that's one thing I don't like about this. There's really not a lot not to like about this, just because of what it can do, this little thing, and having that memory card, it's superb. I have an accessory, and it's very cheap. You can buy it on Amazon. Here's a tip for you and I'll be using this. I don't like this kind of in here, and it's just kind of rocking back and forth. What it is, I bought one of these guys. It's an extender cable, and these are cheap. You can buy these two for like $7, and they just flex, and it's a female and male USB-C. So what this basically does, allows me to do this. When I plug this in here, I can plug this in here. Okay, so I don't have that risk of this breaking, and it keeps it away from my pod, which is nice. And when I plug this in, you'll see that comes up as well. There's no issues in terms of the transmission between this cable with between the pod and the quick reader with this cable, and this takes this out of danger of snapping off. You know, I'm a clumsy idiot. Some of you may be fine, but I'm an idiot. I would break that off in about a month using this thing, especially when I travel so much with it. This adds a little bit more of an assurance that it's pretty flexible. Even if it gets knocked off, it's not going to snap this thing off, really, because it's on a flexible cable. And these things are cheap, and they're portable, and you can just carry them anywhere. I have 2 of them. So that's one thing. And you can use this on the phone. I tried it on the phone, works fine. I tried it on the tablet, works fine. You can actually even use this on the power bank and use this is a charge and sync cable. So it does charging as well as data transmission. So they're not expensive, and it's worth the price to break this thing. Then you got to spend another $60 buying the quick reader or getting a repair or whatever. Anyways, that's the one thing I don't like about this, and there's a quick fix for that. Just having the flexible. Hey, you can flick it around. Look at that. This is. Oh, look. Yeah, I'm not gonna go there. Anyways, if you travel a lot like me and you've got so much content and so much videos that you need to download, and you need a good usable accessory, like a lot of accessories I have, I'll use it once or twice and I just kind of don't use it anymore. And there's some accessories that comes with me all the time. This is going to be one of those accessories. I would definitely, with the expandable memory card, definitely a useful accessory, and I recommend this 110%. That said, I would love to see this is to be compatible with all these guys. Keep the whole ecosystem. I would love to see this in the same idea that when I plug this guy into my Ace Pro, that same menu comes up. Okay, that I can transfer files back and forth, that kind of stuff. I would love to see a menu come up that I can actually take the files of videos that I shot on my Ace Pro and put it on here. Okay, because if I'm out and I have my phone, again, I do not like over-the-air file transfers, because on the Ace Pro the files are quite large. On the X4 they're even bigger because you're stitching 2 4K videos. To be able to plug it into my Ace Pro or X4 and that screen pops up saying that, hey, I can take all the videos from my X4 and just dump it onto the 1 terabyte, let's say, SD card on here, and take this and dump it on there. I can see that as the best firmware update that you can do with something like this, because I'll give you an example. If I'm on a boat and I have footage on my Ace Pro and I need to free up some room for my next dive or whatever, I can just transfer everything, pop it onto this as a backup, delete the files, and then jump in for another dive and have a fresh storage for me to do more footage. And to have that option would be great. Insta360, if you're watching this video, please firmware update for the X4 and the Ace Pro or even the X3 to allow us to use the quick reader as an option to transfer the files in the camera to the quick reader's micro SD storage without having having to go through a tablet or a computer or over the air to your phone. This would be an amazing firmware update to allow this kind of ecosystem with all the devices that you have, because I think the quick reader is a brilliant accessory. Anyways, everybody, have a great one. I'm off to my trip tomorrow to Dominican. I will try and send some footage out to my channel as much as I can. Hopefully I'll get some good diving in. Have a good day, guys. Respect. Peace out.